drink blow my face. Comments slide like a chat room race. Mug in the desk and a stack in the notes, but we talk from the heart, not reading quotes. It's the C2K hour, Facebook live. Pull up in the chat, hit that vibe. Type your name, we'll say it out loud. You sit in front row in this digital crowd.
It's the C2K hour.
Come on through, hot takes.
Big laugh.
Real talk too from your couch.
To this little blue light.
C2K, we be on air tonight. Clock hits me and the crew all texting inside jokes in the movie.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to the C2K Hour. Good night, everybody. Welcome to the C2K Hour with your host, C2K Courage to Kill, the legend of backyard wrestling. And we are here in another episode of the C2K Hour. Lord have mercy. There's a lot of things that I want to talk about. There's a lot of things that I want to say. But I cannot start my C2K Hour if I don't start smoking my cigar, of course. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. I am so excited. I was waiting to start the C2K Hour. Okay. I was just making sure that I could see things right. You guys can see my C2K banner. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You guys can see me. You guys can hear me. Let's go. Let's go. I know that the last episode that I did, I had to delete it because Facebook was having problems and technical difficulties was going on, so I had to delete it. So I don't mind talking about what I was talking about, in the last episode, the supposed last episode of the C2K Hour in Facebook Live. But what I'm going to do it a little different. And I want to bring back the topic that a lot of people love this topic, believer of everything. And it has to do with a lot of what I was talking about the last time I was here in Facebook Live, before I had to delete the whole episode. It has a lot to do with it. Has a lot to do with it. We was talking about the NASA. We was talking about the astronauts that went to space, and went to travel to the moon. Gave go all around the moon, and came back and returned to Earth yesterday, safe and sound. I was talking about there were non-believers that didn't believe that it was real. After the NASA going live and showing the spaceships, showing the spaceship going all the way up to the sky and going straight to the moon. And a lot of people was there watching this. A lot of people went there to watch this. Just like it happened back in the day in the 1970s, when our astronauts, when humanity went to the moon for the first time and made history. But our generation, and I say our because I'm talking about the ones that are at least 30 years old, 40 years old, 50, 60, 70 years old. Our generation, even though I was not born in the 1970s, I was born in the 1983, but in the 1980s, they still was showing these events on TV. And at the same time, they was telling the story. And our generation believed it. Our generation believed this was true. In our generation, there was no, we wasn't even laughing at it. We didn't believe. I mean, there might be some people that didn't believe it, but it was not like it is right now. And so a lot of people saw it. A lot of people in the 1970s when this happened, a lot of people saw it. A lot of people saw, they when the airship or the spaceship lift off, went up in the sky, straight to the moon. So the same thing they did it here. We're talking about at least 9 days ago when the airship lift off, went straight to the moon. But this time, it went farther than any human being has went in the 1970s. They went farther than humanity ever went. And I know that in the last episode I was explaining why was a test of why they were trying to see how farther humanity can go and still come back to Earth alive. I was talking about the future. I was talking about the future. And I know that I did mention, I did mention, I'm going to say, I mentioned the movies. I mentioned the movies that we have been watching since we was little. I did mention Star Wars. I mentioned Star Trek. And any movies out there that where you could travel from Earth to another planet without no problem. Where your car was not even a car, it was a spaceship. It was a spaceship. Where you could travel to anywhere you want to go. If you want to travel to Jupiter, you could travel to Jupiter. If you wanted to travel to Venus, you could travel to Venus. If you wanted to travel to Saturn, you could travel to Saturn. But you could travel to anywhere you wanted to travel with your own spaceship. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're trying to do. This is what we're trying to bring to the future. We're trying to bring this to the future. We're trying to make this real. We're trying to make it real. But of course, this is non-believers that don't believe this is real. Even when we saw live yesterday, the returning of our astronauts that was in space for 10 days and came back to our Earth safe and sound, and it was live. You could see in the news, you could see on Facebook Live, you could see on YouTube Live. It was, you could see it anywhere. You could see it anywhere live. And we watched it. We watched when the capsule separated all the way into, it made it to the atmosphere, where you could see the castle on fire. For the very first time we saw this, when the capsule was entering the atmosphere of our Earth. It was like a comet. The same way as a comet entered our atmosphere to our Earth. And then you saw when they enter our Earth, when it was falling down, I don't know how many miles per hour that was going. I think there was 40,000 miles per hour. 40,000 miles per hour from space all the way to our Earth. And then when it was falling down from 10,000 feet, made it to 5,000 feet in seconds. And we see the parachutes open up. And we see all the way into, it may touch down to the sea. And we saw when I think it was the Marines or the Navy, but I think it was the Marines went all the way to the capsule to get our astronauts. And we saw when the capsule opened and our 4 astronauts, crew members, came out alive, safe and sound. And you could even see the capsule, outside of the capsule was kind of melt down because it went through the atmosphere of our Earth. We see this live. But of course, the non-believer is going to think, oh, this was AI. Oh, this is fake. How? Sorry, guys. How can it be fake? How can this be fake if it was live? We saw this live. How can it be fake? I believed it, and I believe it was true. I was proud of our humanity. I was proud of USA. We made history once again yesterday. And we showed the whole world that it's possible to travel farther than we did before. And the next goal I think they're trying to travel to Jupiter with humans in a capsule, in a spaceship. That's going to be the next goal. And ladies and gentlemen, if we could make that happen, if we can make that happen, sending astronauts in a spaceship all the way to Jupiter, while humans get out of Jupiter and investigate Jupiter by walking in Jupiter, then we can say the future is here. I want to Joanna, what's going on? Welcome to the C2K hour. But just imagine this, guys. It's this. If this a lot of, I'm gonna say that this is a lot of non-believers that's still not gonna believe this is true. That's still gonna say, oh, this is fake. This is AI. We saw this live, man. I want to say, Angel, what's going on? Igual, te bendiga. And the thing is this, it's like the future is here, but people don't understand because they are too dumbfounded to believe that the future is here. The future is now. I've been doing podcasts for 13 years. And I don't know why it's, all right, we go. I have been a podcaster for 13 years. I have been a talk show host for 23 years. And I remember I had my first talk show in 2003. And it was C2K Confidential, which C2K Confidential is going to return this month. C2K Confidential, my first talk show, is going to return this month. So stay tuned for that. And while I was doing my podcast, I remember I started this app called Spreaker.com where you could do your podcast, but you couldn't see me. You just couldn't hear my voice. I was talking about the future. I was talking about this topic that people love, believer of everything. And I talked about this many times where I said that, and I predicted it. I predicted that this was going to happen. I predicted it. And I say there's going to be a one time. Oh, how did I say that? Hold on. Let me drop myself back. Hold on. I said that in the future, we are going to be able to travel to other planets. At least I predicted it. I said that we are going to travel farther than we traveled before. And I believe this is 2013, 2014 when I predicted it. When I did said in Social Side Podcast, I said we are going to travel farther than the moon that we ever traveled before, and we're going to be able to travel from our planet to other planets. And we proved it yesterday. We proved it yesterday. And what's going to be the next goal? I think they said the next goal is going to see if humanity can travel to other planets. And I think they was talking about Jupiter. I gotta look it up on Google. I think I believe it was Jupiter that they're trying to go. Let me put my glasses on. Hold on. Put my other glasses on. Oh, it fall off. There you go. Now we good. Now we good. Now we good. And I said it. I said it many times. I said, hey, we are going to be able to travel to other planets. And that's when it happened. And I did say United States will be the first one. I said that. I said United States will be the first one. Will be the first it will be the first country in this world to make it farther than they went before. It was the first country to go to the moon in the 1970s. And we're going to do this again. We were the first ones to travel all around the moon and come back to Earth safe and sound. Now, I think Jupiter is next. But there are people that doesn't believe. You guys gonna believe it very soon. You guys gonna believe it very soon. And it's gonna happen. The future is here, the future is now. Watch it. Watch. It's gonna happen. Oh, and the cars that you see in the road, they're gonna be flying too. Watch. That's another thing that's gonna happen. We're gonna be driving not driving on the road anymore. We're gonna be flying our cars. Watch, it's going to happen. The future is here. The future is now. The future is here. The future is now, guys. I don't know why it's kept darkening. I don't understand. Maybe it's myself. Maybe I could put myself a little bit more so you guys can see me. Maybe that's why it's doing it. Yeah, maybe I need to be a little closer so you can. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Or maybe you guys can see me. But this is happening. Future is here. The future is now. Let's talk about all the things. I'm laughing now because there are some entrepreneurs that doesn't like me. There's some entrepreneurs out there that does not like me, which is fine by me. I don't care if people like me, people doesn't like me. I don't care if people love me, people doesn't love me. I don't care if people hates me or doesn't hate me. I don't care if people talks about me or not. It doesn't matter to me because it's not going to hurt me. I said it before, I am unbreakable. You can break something that is already broken, which it makes me unbreakable. But there's a lot of entrepreneurs that does not like me because when I became a podcaster 13 years ago, I made a bond that I was going to say nothing but the truth. I was gonna be that podcaster that is gonna be outspoken, a podcaster that gonna say nothing but the truth when he gets in his podcast or talk shows. So, and the reason why I'm like this, because I said it before that my grandparents, they, how can I say this? They raised me to be different. Because these entrepreneurs, so-called entrepreneurs, so-called content creators, they always want to talk about other people. They always want to talk about how people cook, how they cook, basically bullying people, which is called cyberbullying. And of course, they have this little army, so-called army, and which I call them keyboard crybabies. I call them keyboard crybabies that agree with whatever this and so-called entrepreneurs, so-called content creators that want to talk about other people, want to talk about how you cook or what did you do. It's like you have to be careful of what you put out there in social media, because they're going to use your images, they're going to use your videos and make them as a mockery. They're going to. This is why I created a protection that is called DI Promotions, that protects every content creation, every skit comedy, every music, every talk show, podcast, shows that I promote in C2K Entertainment. We protect them. Like the Corralisa family is going to do a show very soon. We're working on them. We're working with them, with the Corralisa family, to do a show called the Corralisa Family. And the Corralisa family is protected by the I Promotions. And the reason why I created the I Promotions with 24 people, because of this content creators or so-called entrepreneurs that they want to go ahead and make a mockery out of others. So the I Promotion will protect every, even backyard wrestling federations, indie pro wrestlers that do promote. And one day, the C2K Wrestling Promotion will be promoting pro wrestling very soon. But now we are promoting backyard wrestling and indie pro wrestling. And they all are being protected by the I Promotions. So some of these content creators doesn't like me because I confront them. I do. I confront them. Where they was talking about how people, they was talking about other people, like people that when let's say for example, somebody's doing like a cooking show, or not even a cooking show. They're just showing others how to cook this, and how you can cook this, how you can cook that, and they want to go ahead and make it as a mockery. They want to go ahead and bully these people, telling them how to cook. So I basically told them, you cannot tell people how to cook when it's not even your kitchen. It's not even in your kitchen. Why are you telling people how to cook? Not everybody's gonna cook the way you cook. Not everybody's going to eat what you eat. Not everybody's gonna like what you like. Because one of the wonderful things that our God did, He created people to be different, to act different, think different, talk different, behave differently. And just because, let's say for example, let's say that now that I am losing weight, guys. I'm losing weight, and I'm be careful. I'm careful with what I eat. I cooking my food differently this time uh with not too much salt or not too much condiments. Like where I'm doing that, and sometimes I boil I boil my meat, my chicken, my beef. I boil them, or sometimes I bake them, which I don't eat greasy food anymore. Sometimes I do, when just sometimes I eat greasy food, which I don't do anymore, but just a little bit, not much. But there's a lot of people like me that don't put salt in their food. There's a lot of people like me that doesn't put no season in their food, because one, they're trying to lose weight, and it's not good for their health. And there's other people that they have health problems. They cannot cook with salt. They cannot cook with condiments. They cannot cook with. So what they do, they just boil their beef, their chicken, whatever, the turkey, or they bake it, they grill it, you know, because they cannot eat greasy food anymore. So of course, you got these entrepreneurs and or so-called content creators that want to go ahead and tell these people how to cook. Like for example, I say, oh, why you not putting why you not putting some type of spices, or why you not seasoning your food? I like my food seasoned. Okay, if you like your food seasoned, it's because you like it. Doesn't mean that other person is gonna like the food season. Like, who is you to tell people what to do? This is what I told them. Who is you to tell people what to do? Are you God? Like suddenly you became God now? That you can judge people, that you can tell people what to do? No, you're just a human being like me. Just because they don't like the food season and you do, doesn't mean you gotta tell them to put season in their food if they don't like it, or they cannot eat it like that. So of course, this is why some entrepreneurs like me. I am the voice of the voiceless. This is who I am. The voice of the voiceless. And when I don't see something when I see something I don't like, I'm gonna say it. I say, "Yo, you're wrong for that." I'm not trying to tell people what to do. I don't do that. But when I see something that is wrong, it's wrong. Like, let these people be. Let these people live their life. They live their life however they want to live it. I'm a person that I don't be in people's business. I don't. I don't like to be in people business, because like I said before, I was raised by my grandparents. My grandparents were uh, strict. Were strict to where I learned the hard way. I learned the hard way. And sometimes, I mean, what I meant to say is that I was raised, trained, and at the same time, there was a rule coming from my grandparents. That was one of the rules was don't tell a tale, don't snitch, mind your own business. Let people be and let people live their life. And I've been doing it for 42 years. I'm still practicing the training that came from my grandparents. This is why when a lot of people come to me and talk to me about other people, I tell them, listen, that's not my problem, it's not my business. If you got a problem with that person, you go to that person. Don't come to me. Not my problem, not my business. I don't believe in messengers. I don't. I don't believe in messengers. I think if a person have a problem with another person, that person should go to that person for themselves. I do. And when a lot of people come to me talking about other people, I say, listen, I'm not trying to be rude or mean. I don't care. That's the life. If you got a problem with that person, go to that person yourself and fix whatever you can fix with that person. Because it's that I don't take sides. I don't. I stay neutral. Okay, this is going over here. I'm sorry, guys. I think it's me. I think you guys can see me. Yeah, there you go. And that's the way I am. That's the way I am. I don't get in people's business. You know what I mean? I don't. I let people live their life. And at the same time, when it comes to cooking, I still want to eat it. I still want to be grateful. I have a lot of friends from different nationalities, and when it comes to soul food and Italian food and Mexican food or any type of food, man, I ate it, and I was grateful. I was grateful. I'm gonna be like, I don't eat that. Oh, that's not seasoned. I'm not gonna tell them how to cook their food. I don't do that. I really don't. You know, it's just this so-called content creators, man. They do too much. They do too much. Like let people be. Like why you gotta make things, make things as a mockery just because you want likes for your own, and you want to make have a lot of viewers just because of that. A lot of people go social media will do anything for sharing likes and views. And we got to be careful with what we put out there because there's always going to be somebody that's going to think that whatever we do is a macro, it's a mockery because, or it's funny to them because they hate it. Only a hater will think that everything you do is funny because they want that piece of fame, at least that 5 minutes of fame. because they're trying to borrow your fame. They're trying to be relevant, and the way they're going to be relevant is from taking from your fame, taking from your spot, taking from your light or your spotlight. Because the only way they can be relevant is taken from your spotlight. At least it's only 5 minutes from your spotlight, and they hating on what you do, and they hating on you. That's what they're doing. But C2K Entertainment, the I Promotions, is trying to stop these people from what they're doing. Because we are the voices of the voiceless. This is who we are. And our mission is to protect everyone from these diabolical people. Yes, sir. That's what we're doing. As long as this name is around and the servitor is alive, I will protect everyone from the diabolical people. Into there's no more diabolical people around. What's going to happen tonight? Tonight, C2K Talk Show. We're going to have another episode of C2K Talk Show tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we got C2K Talk Show. We're trying to do C2K in France today. So maybe tonight around 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we are going to have C2K in France on StreamYard. This is on StreamYard. C2K Talk Show, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on StreamYard and Facebook Live. C2K in France, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on StreamYard and Facebook Live. We are going to have Salsa Talks podcast around, I would say, 5 p.m. We're going to have Salsa Talk podcast. What else? There's a lot of things that I'm going to be doing today and tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we're going to do some more podcasts around. There's a podcast that I'm going to be taking, and I'm going to be the main podcaster. It's called Beer Poor Podcast. Beer Poor Podcast. It will be hosted by me. There's a lot of things that we're going to do tonight and tomorrow night, so stay tuned for C2K Entertainment. Well, guys, I'm going to have to leave. Thank you guys for watching the C2K Hour with C2K Chorus to Kill. Okay, okay, you go. Thanks for watching us, guys, and thanks for your support. It's very important for me, and not only for me, for C2K Entertainment. Thanks for watching every talk show, every podcast. The C2K Entertainment is promoting, and keep watching us, guys, because this is our job. It's our goal to entertain you guys. And I'll see you guys into the next episode of the C2K Hour in Facebook Live with C2K Chorus to Kill, the Legend of Back Arrested. Love you all. Have a blessed day. See you guys.
Yeah, we live like that. Phone on green screen, glow my face. Comments slide like a chat room race. Mug in the desk and a stack in the notes, but we talk from the heart, not reading quotes. It's the C2K hour. Facebook live, pull up in the chat, hit that vibe. Type your name, we'll say it out loud. You sit the front row in this digital crowd.
It's a C2K hour.
Come on through, hot takes.
Big laugh
Real talk too from your couch.
to this little blue light.
C2K, we be on air tonight. Clock hits 8 and the crew all texting. Inside jokes when the show begins. You drop hearts, we drop to the ghost. Whole room feels close like hometown road. It's the C2K hour.